Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Brian W. Adams.
Well, hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the Inspire podcast today, and thank you so much for listening in. Before I get started, today I want to remind you to keep helping us get the word out on the first ever Medicare Live virtual Medicare conference. This is going to be an amazing event next week. And since it's going to be starting next week, we are going to have that take place of next week's Inspire podcast. So it's taking place on Monday, July 27th. It's a fantastic opportunity for all of us to lead from the front here at Integrity and provide solutions to Medicare agents and agencies as they head into the Medicare annual enrollment period, or AEP, that is so crucial to our business. And so even if you are wanting to learn more about some of the things that we'll be sharing, man, I encourage you, if you have time during the day, jump on to that live conference. We are going to have a lot of fun with it, and I got to tell you, it's just going to be spectacular. So please start telling your friends, coworkers, agents, agencies out in there. Like and share all the different social media things that are going on out there. We've gotten a tremendous response. It's one of the best responses I've ever seen to an event, and really we're all accustomed to getting together in these live events where we go and meet people, have a drink, have a dinner, get to know each other better. Since we're not able to do that, we wanted to provide this type of an opportunity in a new context, frankly, with the virtual conference. And so I encourage all of you to make sure that you invite people to this, because this is a great way for us to get people exposed to some of our incredible leaders, our amazing products that we promote out here, and then just really the power of the platform of being able to really serve people and meet them where they are, and provide them best practices and new ideas and new solutions for their clients. So I'm very appreciative for everything that you guys have all been doing to promote this event. Please keep it up. I'm really looking forward to Medicare Live. I know it's going to enhance our industry standing and help us all be more successful in supporting the agents that we serve. Well, today's Inspire podcast guest knows all about service. He's built an incredible agency from literally the ground up by working hard to serve the needs of clients and agents alike. Mr. Paul McClain from McClain Insurance is Integrity's newest partner, and we just made the announcement last week, and it was quite the announcement. Over the last decade, Paul McClain has grown his business to now having over 1,600 career agents that are working with them to serve more than 55,000 clients, and they expect to issue more than $55 million in annual paid premium this year alone. Paul has been a driving force behind some of the most explosive growth that I've ever seen, and he's an incredibly dynamic and driven leader who is always focused on doing whatever it takes to achieve his goals. He is also a fantastic trainer who has a real gift for the business and for being able to transfer his wealth of knowledge to others that helped him build an amazing team there at FFL and McClain Insurance. Ever since I ever met Paul, I've been so impressed with this guy. He is somebody that you see, you just spend a minute or two with, and you go, man, this guy is amazing, and he's just getting started, and he's a tremendous asset to what we're building here at Integrity. And I love the fact that we're bringing in so many young, dynamic leaders that are just really taking off in their industry, in this industry that we all love and care so much about. And so I'm so grateful that Paul decided to join our platform, and I'm thrilled to have him join us here today on Inspire so we can get to know him better. So, Paul McClain, man, thank you so much for joining us today. It is, it is just so great to be with you, buddy.
Hey, thank you, Brian, and I'm beyond grateful and beyond honored to be on the podcast with you guys, and just humbled to be a part of the Integrity family. So very excited to be on with you guys.
Well, man, we're the ones who are excited. Man, Paul, you are seriously one of the most driven and highly motivated people I've ever been around, and I get pumped up every time I talk to you. And one of the things that pumps me up is, man, how young you are. But I mean, a lot of times people who are young haven't gone through a lot of experience or haven't had the success that you've had, but you've had incredible success for a long time in our business. And you got started, we heard this last week on last week's call with David McNerney, when he talked about he was like getting his license at 18, and he knew he wanted to be in the insurance business. I think you got your license at about 18 or 19, and you've just been like, and I loved what David said last week. You persist until you succeed, right? And I know that's been very similar to what you've done, is you've been like, I'm going to succeed no matter what it takes. So tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit more about your background.
Sure. Hey, and again, Brian, thank you so much for having me on. And like I said, I'm very grateful to be a part of the Integrity family. And, my background, I started in the insurance business back when I was 18. At 18, I was going into college. In fact, my parents, neither one of them graduated or got past 8th grade. In fact, my mom would remind my dad, in kind of joking around, that she had an edge on him because she made it 3 months into 9th grade. And so for them, they're like, you got to go to college, and there wasn't a branch, like nobody in the family tree that had ever gone to college. And so that was kind of my focus through high school, was to put myself in a position to get into a college. My dad was a plumber that had just started a septic tank company. And so, never, grew up with any kind of income, needed to go out and, put myself through college. And so at that point in time, I was getting ready to go into my first year of college, and I was at a family barbecue. My cousin, and he's 10 years or so older than I am, never really saw him growing up. I thought knew he was in mortgages and loans and things like that. And he said, man, why don't you get your insurance license? And that way you're not having to be that kind of broke college kid that's eating top ramen and, just scratching and crawling through college until they get a degree and then hope to get that job. He said, you go out there and help one family, you can make $500, $600, $700. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And so I didn't really know much of what he was saying. The only thing I really heard was, $500, $600, $700 to help one family. And I was pumping septic tanks that my dad had. It was his first year starting this new business. And so I would go do that for a couple of days a week, pumping septic tanks. And I got to listen to him, come behind me and tell me that it smelled like money, even though to me it was $8 an hour. I reminded him, like, man, that's money to you, not to me. And so I was going to college the other days. And for me, Brian, I just was looking for something to put myself in a good position, because at that age of 19, my wife and I, we had our first daughter. We've got 4 daughters. And so I had a sense of urgency. I needed to make money as quickly as possible. And I really didn't know what the insurance industry, how lucrative it was and what it had to offer. But I did know that, hey, it seemed like a pretty good idea to get a license and see where it went. And so that summer, I got my license, and I went out there and helped some families. And what I really loved about it is, just to me, it seemed like everybody had kind of an equal shot. It wasn't like you had to have any kind of prerequisites to be successful here. In fact, you could outwork your lack of skill and build the skill through intensive work ethic. And so I just went to work and plugged in to people that were seeing success. And that's what really kind of helped develop my thought process and mindset to believe that I could go out and create something significant and build a business was getting around people like Shawn Mike and big thinkers. And they really kind of helped me grow myself up in this business. And I just went out there and, decided after my first couple months, like, hey, this thing's going to work. It's pretty simple. It's just helping families. If you care enough about people and you put the work behind it, it'll work its way out. And so took off a semester from college and then really just never went back. The rest has kind of been history.
Wow, man, there's so much in this. So you were literally pumping septic tanks out before you got in the insurance business. Like when you say pumping it out, I've got this little farm that we just had a septic tank pumped out. Man, that is some messy, nasty work. Were you and I just saw this myself, and I literally I think I paid $200 and something to have this septic tank pumped out, and I was literally, when the guy told me, I was kind of worried, like, man, what's this thing gonna cost me? And then he's like, yeah, I can't remember, like $225 or something. I was like, you got to be kidding me! Like, he could have charged whatever he wanted because there's not many people who will do that. So you were actually the guy who were were you the one who had the tube like in the tank, like sucking it out, like getting dirty?
Oh yeah. I was like at the bottom of the totem pole. So you got the guy that drives the truck. He's kind of like he's moving his way up in life, and then I was the guy that was like, hey, get out there, and I dig the hole up, and I had to pump it. I mean, a good day was when I didn't get anything on my jeans, and I could get in my car without having to put a couple towels down. So.
Oh my gosh, man! That is amazing that you went from literally pumping out septic tanks to saying, listen, I'll do whatever it takes, because you had to, right? I mean, the motivation that you had was you had a new baby at home. You had nothing to lose. You were like, man, I'm going to do whatever I can to make this work, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I don't know if you've seen I've seen the play a couple of times called Hamilton, and then now it's actually out on video. But one of the things you just reminded me of is there's this one song in there called My Shot, and it's Alexander Hamilton and saying, I'm not throwing away my shot. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. So you were like, listen, I am young, scrappy, hungry. I got to do something different. I know what the fallback position is, and I don't like it, and I don't really want to have to put a towel down to not get my car messy. So I'm going to do whatever I can to help these people out. And so, man, what was it that helped you achieve that? And you went from you were young, scrappy, and hungry, man. You still are. That's one of the things I love about you is you said, man, I'm getting in this deal. I'm gonna go out and learn everything I can and help more people. So what was it that really helped you attain so much success so quickly?
Brian, I think the biggest thing was just putting my head down and going to work. It was 16-hour days. I guess for me, the way I kind of looked at this business was, and I don't know if I related it to, school or college, because that's what I was, used to at that time. But I looked at this business where, whether that was leads or booking appointments or sitting with families, index annuities, I kind of looked at them like they were all subjects. So for me, I kind of just turned off all the association that I had around me that wasn't going to help me personally, financially, professionally, spiritually, and really just kind of shut that off, minimize relationships that weren't bringing value. And I just jumped in and started to spend a lot of time learning and becoming a good student of the business and a lot of these things, late at night, really early in the morning. But outside of that, I was 100% just nonstop doing things that produced income, going out, sitting with clients, helping families. And I think it was just an all-in obsessive approach to figure this thing out. And I just knew that there was no lid. And as bad as I was in the beginning, because I wasn't very good as I got started, I knew that I could build skill from just going to work and then putting my mind in front of, different voices that were going to help guide me down the right path to see success. And so I think I did a lot of that. The best way I could look at it, it's like I'm 5'9", and so every time I go play basketball, I'm reminded that I'll never play in the NBA. When I jump up and one of the guys that's actually played college ball, my head hits his armpit and he hasn't even moved his feet. I realize that I don't have a shot at that, but in this business you do, and it's funny. I was playing basketball with a couple guys, years ago, and they're like, man, you look like a rabbit that drank like 32 Red Bulls on the basketball court. And I said, well, it's because I suck, but if I could get more shots, I'm still going to beat you, and because I'm going to work. And this is how I look at this business. I'm like the rabbit with 32 Red Bulls. I was going to go to work and plug in, and that's a cool thing. There's no prerequisites to be successful here. That's how I look at it as I move into this next season. My goal is to put in even more work, to plug in even more, and do my best to bring value in this partnership. So that's kind of been the best things that have helped me see success, is just attitude and activity.
Man, that's such a great analogy. One of the things we here on Inspire, we have interviewed some of the most iconic figures in the insurance business today, and all these guys who are now your partners. That, man, I can't wait for you to meet Lenny Anderson and John Wayne and some Mike White and Tom Sheath and Mike Wingate. I can't wait for you to meet some of these guys who were all once Paul McClain, right? That we're all none of us were born with a silver spoon in our mouth, and these guys who have just said, man, I'll do whatever it takes to be successful. I mean, you remind me so much of myself, honestly. I remember when I got started in the business, and at 27, when I left my career and really started this with Tom Sheath and Mike Wingate, I remember before that I had a solid income, I had vacation time, all those different things, and now I come over here and I'm like, man, if I want to make money, the only way I'm going to make money is if I help people be more successful. And I literally kind of inventoried out even relationships, as you talked about, and just said, where am I wasting time? Because time was the only thing I had. I didn't have any money, and all I had was time and my ability to outwork the next guy. And I was literally willing to not go out on the weekends, not go out with buddies. A lot of friends were like, why don't you want to play golf on Friday or whatever it was, and you're supposed to be in the insurance business. That's what all these insurance guys do. And I was like, man, I got this one opportunity. I could see people that had been very successful, and I was like, man, that's where I'm going for. And then the more successful you get, right? You sit there and you go, I know for me, I sit back and I go, man, I remember when I was like that, and I want to now help the next group come up, because there's so many people that need this type of opportunity and need this. They've been like you were, right, where they had some job that they didn't love or didn't even like, and they're like, man, I want to try to improve my lifestyle, maybe not even for myself, right, but for my family. And that was something that really drove me, even when I was single. How do I help my future family be prepared and set up and taken care of? And man, I love that concept. And you've done such a terrific job so far in your career. And man, you're just getting started. Paul, if you don't mind, how old are you? I know you got started in the business in 19. How old are you now?
32.
Dude, at 32, so I'm 44 now. I love it that you're 32, man. Like you and Andrew Taylor, and I mean, we got some amazing people who are in their 30s and early 40s in this business. And there's a lot of guys. We also have guys that have been in this business for a long time that we all need to get to know and learn from, like the guys like Scott Riddle and Tim McCoy and Alan Town and others that have been in this business for a lot longer than we all have, that we can all learn from. But man, I love the fact that you've accomplished this much success at 32, and there's this compounding effect that happens in life, right? That and it's really about what do you do with this momentum that you've got at 32, and where you're going to really change the course of history for your family. Man, you were just getting started, brother, and now that you're part of the Integrity family and you've had the opportunity to focus on, now you have more opportunity to focus on growing your business even more. What are some of the things you're most excited about this opportunity, bud?
Man, I think, Brian, for me, a couple things I'm really excited about is the opportunity that I'm going to have to glean from some top people in the insurance industry, like you were speaking about. And I know that as I become of more value, I can become more valuable to the ones that I work with, the agents and the clients that the agents work with and my staff. And so I just see a lot of growth opportunity for me to lean in and incline my ear to learn a lot from a lot of people that really have a lot to give me from what they've learned. And my passion has really been to serve agents, whether that's, one-on-one or training calls. Like I really am passionate about, helping agents go out there and elevate their game and to get it to the next level when it comes to serving clients and to building their agencies and hiring agents and developing businesses. And I just know that this is going to be, I'm just going to be fed at a different level to go out there and have a more strength to do that. Even the things that, I don't have to do now as moving forward, some of the things that have been taken off the table, with just HR and just some of this other stuff where it's like, that's freeing. So now I could go out there and place my focus at just a different intensity to go out there and see this explosive growth reach to new heights and new levels. And so I'm excited about that. It's to me, it's very humbling just looking at the team, if we call it like the roster of Integrity. I mean, it's second to none. It's unbelievable as I take a look at the partners and it's like you put together the dream team. I was watching that, The Last Dance, and I think this is the financial services, like this is the dream team that's put in place, and I'm honored to be able to play on that team and excited to do my part and everything I can to help us win different, championships. And so the employee deployment program as well, the ownership program is something that I'm excited about to see, my employees be able to have ownership and integrity. A lot of this stuff, Brian, I never getting started at 19, 18, even if you would have said 2 years ago, if you would have said, 18 months ago, I would have never, dreamed that this existed, that this was something that, you could be a part of, it's something that you could do and join in partnership. I just never thought of it. And I know my employees didn't think about that either. And to see the excitement that they have, how that's going to bless their family and what they're going to be able to do. I'm almost speechless, man. It's very humbling, and I could not be more optimistic about the future and what it's going to look like. I'm excited, and I could not agree more with the I'm just getting started concept, because that's really what it is. I think the foundation has now been laid, and it's a deep foundation. It's a wide foundation. And now as we build something and as this thing continues to build, I think the foundation is so broad and so great that no matter what comes at us, it's just going to reveal the strength of the company. It's not going to shake or crumble. And I think we've been revealed as that, when you look at the growth that we've had in the past 4 or 5 months amidst, some of the stuff that's taken place with the pandemic. And, I think it's just revealed that, for one, we're in the best place. And I've always believed, Brian, that we deliver the best services too. To be able to go out there and be an essential, worker, to be able to go out there and serve clients with something that is going to bring more, security and peace of mind than any other service. We're not peddling carpet. We're helping people with, a need that when something happens, we're going to be able to step in and support them. And so, I think it just, again, that foundation is now laid, and I cannot be more excited to build something great here and something significant. So again, Brian, thank you so much.
Man, you said so much there that is so true. First of all, man, we are an essential service, and there's a reason the government deemed us as such, right? They identified these essential businesses that were core to the infrastructure of our country, and one of those is in insurance. And one of the things I think that to me that brings so much excitement that people recognize how important the services that we provide are, and for the government to recognize that is so important for all of us. And now it's time for all of us to recognize it, right? All of us to really talk about that we are an essential service and that people need us now more than ever. And I think a lot of times it's easy to forget that what we do is so important. But man, what we try to do is help people in one of the toughest days of their lives. So when they're sitting at a hospital and they found out they just had a major illness, including COVID, we want to be there for them with Medicare supplement, Medicare Advantage, or individual health plan, or some ancillary product around that. Or whenever a family has to go down to a long-term care facility, we want to have a long-term care, short-term care plan for them. Or when someone passes away, we want to have a life insurance plan for them, whether it's final expense, mortgage protection, or one of our life insurance products. Or when someone goes into retirement, man, we don't want that to be a difficult time. We want them to have a great experience in retirement, and so we want to have annuity planning or other wealth planning products. And so it's so important for us to realize the importance we have in society and the importance that we've got overall as an essential business, and frankly the obligation that we have. Like you said, we're not selling flooring that can be put off for a couple of years, right? I mean, there's flooring in my house right now that I could tell you has been there for 15 years and could probably use some updating. But this is our business, and that's not essential. Like that's stuff I can put off. But when your air conditioning goes out, right, and it's 105 in Dallas, Texas, like it has been here lately, that's essential, and I got to get it replaced, and it doesn't matter really what it costs. I need to replace now because my family needs it. And that is that same type of urgency that I hope that we all can rally around, especially as we come up into our Medicare season, which is such an important season for our overall business. Realize how essential our business is and why it's so important to just the fabric of America to make sure that they have the coverage that they need whenever that life event occurs. And so you guys at Family First Life and your association, I mean, listen, Sean Mike is just one of the most incredible leaders I've ever met in my life. And what you guys have built there at Family First Life has just been amazing. And I love how you guys have rallied around that. And I think it's important for everyone on this call, everybody in this business, to also rally around that. And that's one of the reasons we want to keep looking for ways to have events like Medicare Live that's coming up next week, and we'll be hosting on July 27th. And so even if you're not in the Medicare business, get on there and learn more about the opportunity to better serve people with those important life events and what you guys are doing, especially in the life protection world, of making sure that people have great life insurance. People now more than ever, realize the importance of having great health insurance and great life insurance. And that's just been proven by our record sales numbers that we continue to have. And so, man, thank you for not throwing away your shot, man. Thank you for being young, scrappy, and hungry. and looking for ways to better serve people and helping others get that opportunity and not throw away their shot as well, buddy. You inspire me to death, and I got to tell you, on behalf of all the partners on this call, all of us here, we are excited to have you as a partner. We can't wait to all be able to get back together and get to know each other. And man, I encourage you to go around and get to know some of these other amazing partners that we've got that have just paved that path for decades before us. That we can all learn from. That's what I do, is I look for those guys and go, man, I want to learn what did you do to become so successful, and how can I follow in your footsteps? And on behalf of all of them, I want to tell you that we're proud to be your partner, and congratulations for getting your deal done with integrity, and now that integrity effect that I think Sean might coin the term for is going to really, now's just the beginning, right? How do we now go out and really help others become even more successful than they could have ever dreamed? And you are a shining light, that kind of beacon that people can point to and go, man, I want what Paul has. I want to follow in his footsteps. And so, congratulations, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. Man, it's just been a lot of fun hearing your story, and I can't wait to see you keep writing your story here at Integrity, my friend.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, proud of you, man. Congratulations. Well, I wanted to invite a few of your kind of partners. You're literally your partners out there, but also the guys at FFL that you've grown up with and that you've just seen do some incredible things. So I know several of them have asked if they could say a couple of words just to congratulate you and welcome you to the family. So, Mike Killiman, are you there with us, man?
I am, Brian. Can you hear me?
Hey, we can hear you good, man.
Awesome, man. Well, Paul, congratulations, bud. I tell you, one quick thing, Brian, let everybody know. Paul's a guy for me. Been a partner with him for a while now, but now moving forward, he's the type of person that you know people really don't care what you say, but how you make them feel. When you're around Paul, you just feel better. I mean, his attitude is phenomenal, and it makes you want to work harder for him and with him. So, Paul, I couldn't be happier for you, bud, you and your family, and look forward to continuing to blow this thing up.
Hey, thank you, Mike.
That's awesome. Andrew Taylor, are you there with us, man?
Yeah, I'm here. Congratulations, dude. It's been crazy, 12 years we've been working together, and I remember my first meeting I went to regarding insurance, and a lot of people don't know this, but I would say I was pretty shy. I didn't think I would be good at sales. And I went to this meeting. Paul was the youngest person in there, and he had made for the week, I think the top sales guy did 4 or 5 sales for the week, and then Paul put his numbers up on the board. He had helped 22 families that week just off of pure work ethic, and he was brand new in insurance. So I was like, that's out of control. But if he's just working that hard, then maybe I could do it too. So I could say I wouldn't even be in the industry at all if it wasn't for that. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome working together for the last 12 years. And the integrity effect is really cool because now we get to work together, and I can't imagine what we can do with everybody's interests 100% aligned. I'm just thinking here all the stuff we can do, and I think this is a big win for integrity. I think it's a big win for Paul McClain. So congratulations, everybody.
Man, that's awesome.
Hey, Brian, one thing I want to say real quick, if I could, it's the last 12, 13 years, it goes back, and I could tell you hundreds of stories about, Andrew and I, building this business together. And you look at the integrity effect and what I've seen, how that's played out in the growth that we've had. And I think it's really just a bigger example of some of the stuff that me and Andrew did throughout the years, having that partnership and being running buddies and building it together, having fun in the business and just putting in late hours. I mean, it's something that you build that mutual respect when you're out there and you're grinding 16, 18-hour days, getting in the door at 1 a.m. and back up, working at 4 or 5. It's that's the thing that I'm most excited about is, it's like a dream team where now it'd be weird not to want to step it up and put in even more hours and work even harder because you're with a group of people that you truly respect because of what they've done. And so, last 12, 13 years, Andrew and myself, I mean, we've ran together, and I'm looking forward to running with everybody else in the Integrity family at that same kind of pace with that same level of respect, which is pretty exciting.
Man, that's well said, brother. Well said. That is exciting. I know there's been some technical difficulties on the phones. I've gotten some texts from some of you. We've had some technical difficulties. That's what you deal with, I guess, on some of this. Hopefully that's been resolved here. But Mark Mead, you're blowing me up, brother. Are you there?
I'm here, buddy. You hear me?
Hey, I can hear you great, man.
Paul, congratulations, man. Huge, man. And congratulations to you and your family. I remember when I got in the industry, Paul was like in his mid-20s. And Paul was crushing it. I mean, he just was laying it down. He was always top 5 personal production. He had a massive team growing. And honestly, when I first started, I mean, I would reach out to Paul for advice on all kinds of things because he had a business I didn't. And he was never too busy. He was never too busy to try to help out. And then when we got over to Family First Life, I mean, Paul's closing ratio is insane. So I promise you, he's one of the best with people that I've met. I had to work twice the amount of appointments as Paul to get the same result. And we would make jokes going back and forth about the leaderboards because, every year we'd be in the top 4. And it's just, but having a running buddy like Paul, seeing him in multiple different atmospheres, and he's always positive. He's been insanely consistent. He's a very hard worker. He's always had a lot of agents, always had a massive agency from when I known him. He's a driver. He's owned trainings at Family First Life. He's constantly working. So I think it's a huge, huge win for all of Integrity that Paul McClain's on the team, man. Congrats, buddy.
Hey, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, man. And Mark's one of the guys that set the standard for me. I thought I was doing good, Brian. And then Mark came on board. And then in 1 year, I realized that I could do 3 times more than I thought I could. So I always said he was like the standard setter and the belief builder because I was like, man, I thought $300,000 on your own pin was good. And then Mark does 500. And I'm like, yeah, so I guess I could do more. So, Mark, thank you, man. You meant a lot for my business. Yeah, no doubt. So I appreciate that, man.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, that's what it's all about, of us all pulling together. So, Mike, Andrew, Mark, Sean, thank you guys so much for leading the way here, and thank you for saying a few things. Man, Paul, we are just so excited. That was a lot of fun, and thank you again, Mr. Paul McClain. Congratulations for being a partner, buddy. We're going to have a lot of fun together, and hope everybody has a wonderful week. God bless you all.